Hello, Good Shepherd. Andrew here with another Andrew's Question of the Week. I am filming from my porch. It is Monday morning and the sun's coming up. This is my second shoot of this video. The first one, I was a little too fidgety with my hands and all the stuff that's around me, like I have a pen and a lighter, and it was very distracting, but the lighting was perfect. Now it's just a little bright. The sun's right up there. But it's a new day and it's beautiful, and I've just been loving this the weather and the time out on my porch I've had, and the carpenter bees buzzing around pollinating all the stuff. It's all been way good. So Andrew's Question of the Week is the time when we respond to Sunday's sermon. Use this time as either part of your daily spiritual practice as you ponder where God is showing up in your life today. Watch this with your family, answer the question together, discuss it, talk about it, or perhaps respond with your thoughts in the comments. I loved engaging in the comments last week and hearing how people were wrestling with the topic, and it was helpful for me, and I really enjoyed it. And as always, if you haven't watched the sermon yet from yesterday, there's a link in the description, so click on it, check it out, and then come back here for the question of the week. In Sunday's Gospel, Jesus was told of Lazarus' death, grieved it, and then rose Lazarus from the dead. Pastor Marcia reminded us of our hope in Christ, who makes all things new, bringing life and resurrection to dead things. My question of the week is, how can we keep our eyes open to the new life all around us? When things are getting really hard and all the news is talking about is the real reality of death and sickness of many people, that is going to get worse, it is not going to get better anytime soon, how can we be people of hope? How can we look to the resurrection? But specifically, in my question of the week, how can we keep our eyes open to new life all around us? And how can we participate in it, perhaps? Does that look like for you going on a walk every day and noticing spring springing up, going by the same tree and seeing how it's progressed a little more each day? If you're spending extended time with loved ones, maybe this looks like noticing new things about them. Maybe you're not used to spending this much time with your kids, with them in daycare and you at work, and you're noticing something new about them, a developmental milestone, or discovering something new about your partner. Maybe it looks like restoring an old relationship over the phone, bringing new life to something that hasn't had a lot of life in a long time, but now you're reconnecting. For me, how I keep myself open to new life is spending time out here on my porch. This past Saturday was my day to get out and move a lot of my houseplants onto the porch and kind of clean it up, which was maybe a little early because I wiped everything down, my tables, my chairs out here, to clear off all the pollen, but just a few days later I already have a nice new dusting of pollen. And those of you also in Raleigh, North Carolina watching this are no stranger to the dusting that happens this time every year. But either way, it was nice to get out on Saturday and kind of participate in spring. And my specific example of how I saw new life coming up was in my house. I have a fiddle leaf fig tree in the back room where I shot the video last week, and the tree's about 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. And I actually, a couple months ago, clipped off one of its branches with hopes to propagate it. Cut it off, put it in a glass of water, and over about a few weeks it started to sprout roots, and then I placed it into this pot here. And I've had it in a windowsill for a long time, and just over the last week noticed that some leaves started springing up, and over this past weekend moved it outside, and we have now 2 leaves coming out of this propagation, which is very exciting. I've propagated a few plants, but never a fiddle leaf fig. So to see new life coming out of this cutting that I clipped off that could have been tossed or composted has been given new life, and I get to see new life springing from it. And if you ask Naomi, she'll tell you that I come out multiple times a day to look at my plants, and I can notice every time a little bit of new life each time. So that's houseplant nerdiness for you, but I absolutely love it, and it's a great reminder of new life for me. Yes, the obvious answer if Naomi were here would be the baby. And I just want to take this time to thank everybody who's been sending us texts and calls and emails checking up on us. We are still pregnant. Naomi is still pregnant, and the due date, our anticipated day of new life, is April 1st, so that's 2 days from now on Wednesday. So thank you for holding us in prayers, and we have our eyes open to new life in that way and should have news very soon. So what's your answer? How do you keep your eyes open for new life? Again, hope this spurs on good conversation with your loved one, your family. Respond in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Keep those eyes open to the hope and resurrection. It can be hard, but oh so important, because we're Jesus people here, and that's what we do. We point to Jesus, and we point to new life. So how do you keep your eyes open? Love to hear. Thank you for watching. Peace. Have a good one.